everybody. Welcome back to Tableside with Fire Bride. I am Lauren. I am your host. And today I am doing a haul video. So as the title of the video states, this is going to be another vintage cookbook haul. So a little backstory on how I've acquired these. So over Memorial Day weekend was my best friend's bachelorette wedding shower weekend. So that whole weekend was this awesome couple just being showered with love and being blessed and all that. So, but for Memorial Day, for that following Monday, it was my best friend's bachelorette party. And what she wanted to do was go canoeing, hiking, and then actually go out to lunch at a restaurant that's actually open during the summer. So, we hang out, we do all of our outdoorsy wilderness excursions. And then it was time for us to go get lunch. So we go to the place where she was wanting to go. And as our group was walking to, an empty table, there was another table right next to where we were going to go sit. And it was this young family. And right next to them was also like the menu that's plastered on the wall. And as I'm going to, kind of stand where I'm going to sit, because it was literally like right there, I'm looking at the menu, but I'm also acknowledging that the dad was kind of propped up against the menu, like leaning against the wall. And he's reading a book, and I'm trying not to like be weird and like stare at him, but I'm looking at the menu, but my eyes are still kind of like gravitating to to this guy. And he was actually reading I can't remember if it was a old school Betty Crocker cookbook or a Better Homes and Gardens cookbook, but either way, he was reading a vintage microwave cookbook. And I'm trying not to be odd and like interrupt him reading, because like he's with his family and I'm with my group, but I'm looking at the menu and I'm kind of still like staring at him. And finally I'm like, dude, I love your choice of reading material. And he's like, oh, thanks, I got it from the little general store that's right up the road. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, it was only $1. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, do you know if they had if there are any more cookbooks over there, like cookbooks for $1? And he was like, oh yeah, they had a bunch of cookbooks. They had a lot of vintage ones, some kind of newish modern ones, but they had a lot. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And he's like, yeah, you should go check it out. I'm like, okay, thank you. I didn't want to, bother him as he's with his family and I'm with my group. So, just kind of left it at that. And as we were eating and kind of hanging out with my friend, like with the bachelorette group, I'm like, I kind of want to like dork out and ask him if I could look at his cookbook as he's with his family. But I'm like, no, that'd be weird and I can't do that. So our bachelorette group just discussed that, hey, we'll just go up the road to the little general store and we'll just hang out, look around. So this haul, besides one of them, was from the little general store, and I'm so excited. I'm excited to share because I found such gems, such treasures. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have them organized by like year, but we'll just go ahead and knock out this one because this one wasn't part of the general store haul. But what was it? It was the weekend before Memorial Day weekend. Was my my husband's cousin's wedding shower, and then the sister of the soon-to-be bride gifted me a belated Christmas gift. And she says she found it at like a, not necessarily like a Goodwill, but some sort of like a thrift store bin. But it is the Good Housekeeping Encyclopedia Cookbook, Book 1. And this was from 1965. So, but that's what it looks like. And I'm like, hold on, let me. It's so pretty. And so it's gonna sound really odd, actually, which would make sense for a lot of these cookbooks, but it has like that old, musty, dusty book smell, and it's awesome. But look at how pretty the illustrations are. You guys, it's so cool. So, this is the one that's not from the general store. Anyway. So, again, starting in, I don't know if numerical, but by year. The first book from 1937, I have my notes down here, so that's what I'm going to be looking down. Anyway, I have a General Foods cookbook. Oh my gosh. I love it. Like, there's a few pictures in here, but so this book, oh, there's Jello recipes. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So all but one I found in the, so how this general store is kind of laid up. There's like one in the center, then there's like another, like another building off to the side of this, of the general store. And then there was like, I want to say like another building, but I think that was like an ice cream shop or something. But anyway, so I found this one, actually all but one, in the second store. But whenever I walked into the second store, in front of me was a bookcase, and there's like so many like antiques and all these really old type of things, but it was awesome. But anyway, I walk into the store, and in the bookcase in front of me was this beautiful book, just like staring me in the face, like, take me, pick me. And I'm like, okay. And so I did. Oh, y'all, it's so pretty. I'm so excited. But yeah, I got the General Foods cookbook. Okay. We're moving on. Sorry. The second book is from 1957. And it is My Favorite Recipes. Look at that. I love vintage cookbooks. I mean, I love cookbooks in general, obviously, because we're filming for my cookbook collection. But there's just something about, like, the old school ones. Like, that's what the other back of the cover looks like. Well, that's a weird picture. Okay, this one's more cute. Look at the cute illustrations and this couple walking in love, and it's just, ugh. And there's an ad or a clipping. What are you? Excuse me. Robin Hood flour. Okay, so it's a recipe on, bleh. words. It's a recipe on how to make white bread. And it gives you a technique on how to make rolled dough. Rolled dough method. From 1965. Oh my goodness. Y'all, this is so neat. Anyway. Alright. The third book, well, not the third book. This one is from 1958, and it is Mary Margaret McBride, Encyclopedia of Cooking, Volume 1. Oh my gosh. So I will say, as I'm walking around this establishment, and they had vintage Pyrex, vintage Coke bottles, like all of that. So much awesome stuff. I kind of beat myself up over it, but they had an actual original printing of the Betty Crocker picture cookbook. And it was priced very, very, very reasonable. And I remember I held it in my hands. I grazed it with my fingers. And I'm like, no, I already have the reprint. I already have a couple other copies of the picture cookbook. And the more I think about it, I'm like, I probably should have gotten it. But anyway, we're back to talking about Miss Margaret. So, look at the pictures, you guys. So pretty. Please don't knock over my tripod. You guys, if you haven't met him already, this is Bean. You're so cute. You're a troublemaker, but I love you. Go. Be free, but don't cause destruction. He's sniffing my tripod. He's making me nervous. Okay, anyway. So this next book stole my heart for two reasons. The first reason is on the spine, it says Cooking with Love. And then the second reason is because it's pink. And for anyone who knows me personally knows I love pink. I love anything that's cutesy and romantic. My eye's itchy. Anyway. But to find a cookbook that's pink, there's hearts, and it says Cooking with Love. You are coming home with me. You will be mine. But this beauty was copyrighted in 1965, along with my Good Housekeeping cookbook. But, so there's no picture, well, whenever I flipped through it, I did not find pictures. But throughout the book, there's a lot of cute little heart illustrations, just kind of scattered, just sprinkled in the book. And it's so cute. So, whenever I was going through this book, I found several recipes, but there's one in particular I'm really excited to try. And I have the perfect piece of equipment to use to make it. And it's very fitting for to go with a very pretty pink cookbook. But, oh my gosh. So, that's that. It's so pretty. So pretty. Anyway, Lauren, get yourself together. Now, the last cookbook, my hair's a mess. Anyway, the next cookbook, which is actually the last one, this one was the first book that I bought from the First Main store. But I found the Pillsbury Kitchens Family Cookbook. And this beauty was copyrighted in 1979. So, but it's this really pretty binder. Can't tell because of like the glare, but that's what the back looks like. And it has the tabs. My cats are making a lot of noise. Anyway. And one of the tabs. There's a few pictures in here, but yeah, that is my little vintage cookbook haul. My cats. Oh my gosh, you guys. Anyway, but yeah, that is the story of how I hauled such precious things. You know, I love vintage cookbooks. I love seeing just the history just throughout the years of, you know, ingredients that aren't like around anymore, seeing all the different brands, just, you know, all of that. It's really cool. But just, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me as I shared my cookbook haul. And I look forward to making things from it. And oh my gosh. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you for coming to hang out with me. And until then, you guys have a great one. Bye.